Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Hope everybody's feeling righteous. Look, that's crazy. It's got some good coffee right here. It's 6 o'clock, right? It's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock, right? And look, I'm in the Bay Area right now, but it's still dark. This is just the little trucking vlog that I like to do. Look at that. I never really showed y'all this. And then somehow, some kind of way I can't turn my camera around, but I ain't never really showed y'all like the back of the trucking thing, the bed and all that stuff, like when I'm out. Little sleeping area. You know what I mean? Sleeping area here. Got a little closet space. Little, something to keep you going while you out here. You know what I mean? Something just to keep you going while you out here. But I wanted to make this video today. I got a little time. I was talking to one of my partners my partner live in Idaho. And I was out there, Idaho. We was in Idaho. We went to Idaho, Iowa. We drove all through Utah. Well, we did a lot of the up north states. You know what I mean? Right now I'm in the Bay Area. So I'm just up here, and it's still dark. I got to the place a little early. I actually had to crash out at another store. But let me get out and show you the massive deal. Let me take my coffee with me. I don't want to leave that in here. I don't even want the top on it. Take the top off. I'm going to mention something about trucking and people expectations of trucking too. And then I'm going to just, get into this other thing that I wanted to talk about, right? So look, when you let me get this out the way. When you first start off trucking, bro, right? This is a deal I just jumped out. That massive deal right there. When you first start off trucking, bro, you don't really make a lot of money at first. There's things that you have to do, like you have to learn how to manage your time, manage trip planning. If you on these short mile accounts, you got to manage your time right. You got to know how to set your sleeper booths and gain two extra hours so you can leave early. And it's like a hustle, but you also got to get your rest so that you'll be one of the safest drivers out there on that road. So it's not always about doing everything so fast, but it is about managing your time right. And then and everybody knows that with anything, you got to put time in. You got to put at least, man, to be honest with you got to put at least 3 years into it. Other than that, you're making that short mile money, or you just want to go home every night, and then that's a different type of set pay. For dudes that want to drive those day cabs. You know what I mean? So, that's just it. But I've always been the type of dude to put food on the table. Even when I was younger, I was just born that way. It's not a brag. It's not a braggadocious type of thing. Just something I've always done. And now here I'm delivering big food to big stores. And been doing it, been just putting my time in. But people think you making a lot of money, but the thing is that you're not, especially when you out here on the road, buying food and stuff like that. Listen to some of those truckers. They pay truckers different now. Listen to some of those truckers. They really talking the real business. So hopefully one day we can get back to paying these truckers right, and they're gonna have to because of how things are going. A lot of dudes are not want to do it. They were like, man, I can just go and work a regular job and make just a little bit less, but I can be at home. I mean, I may make a little bit less, but they'll be at home, is what a lot of the dudes I was talking to were saying. But you can make this work for you if you put the time in. And you know what you're doing, because it takes a while. It takes 3-4 years, for you to know how to just back into anywhere and just get into any space. And when this 99-cent store is a beast, because you going into tight spaces, and you got to be real accurate. And you know, with some of these spaces and getting into them and maneuvering and all of that good stuff. So it takes time to make that money. You don't just go in there, jumping into that truck new, thinking you're going to make all that kind of money rushing, because then you end up tearing something up. So that's just not how it works. But anyway, moving on. So me and my partner from Idaho was talking. And wow, that was deep. So we were talking, and we were speaking on how the world is changing. Look at that prime right there. Big prime. Prime time out here on them. So we was talking about how the world is changing as far as people is concerned, and how this social distancing stuff has really got into the mind of people. And it has created it has literally, have you ever noticed when you walk past people, they move over, they try to cover their face up, I understand, you know, don't nobody want to get sick, but let me tell you something. The people that I know that encountered COVID, from what they tell me, there's no way you're going to be outside doing no walking around, nothing. So I'm talking about that monster that they, you know, that set your butt down. You can't do nothing. So I understand the whole COVID thing, but man, wow. If you go back into some videos that I've made, I talked about war. I got a video where I talk about war, and I talk about how America has been somewhat of a bully to the rest of the world to a certain extent. And we're not even okay over here as far as all this racism and division that we have, that the American people live by. That role of being, that role of just being the victim role that people play over here. You know, the victim role that people play, especially when they see people of certain skin color. It's like they play this victim role. It's like it's weird. But, and even in this COVID thing, nobody has even had a voice about that because of the division and separation over here. Now, I realize that every video that I make, I'm starting to realize that every video that I make don't have to be about something super deep. It can just be me having fun doing something. But today, this is what I wanted to hit on. Because me and my partner was talking, and we were talking about how when you alienate, you see, I made a video called the Twilight Zone too, right? So in the Twilight Zone, there's people all around you, but you can't touch, feel, or say anything to these people. And it was like the Twilight Zone. See, prophetically, we can see things coming. Yeah, bro. When you be sleeping in that truck, though, that's a whole nother video. Anyway, so, yeah. So the Twilight Zone, it's like the Twilight Zone is this mental state of being in reality, and you can't touch, feel, or even speak to no one. Everybody's it's like you are moving ghost in the flesh. And that's what this thing has created. There's many ways and many forms of war. There's many components to war. Everything ain't bombs falling in the sky. As y'all can see, this one hit different. for a lot of people. We were talking about the solution, right? How do you find solution in something like that? Man, you literally have to do something and do everything that you possibly can to make yourself, to create happiness within yourself. You have to. You have no choice. You have no choice. Either that, or you pay a lot of attention to what's presently going on right now. I didn't feel good yesterday because of all the energy that you encounter out here. It was like, man, like you feel alone sometimes, even though God is with you. And that's the only presence that is unseen, that is not like physical, that you can actually feel, where you don't feel alone. But there's days where you just feel alone, man. You feel like you in the world all by yourself. I sent my mom a text, and I don't, my mom, we don't cuss in front of our parents, but I sent that text and I was like, you know what, mama, fuck this world. And you feel like that sometimes. Like, how did I land in a place like this on certain days? There could be a day where you like, how did I land in a place like this, where they discriminate skin color, and most of the people that are doing it are all poor people. Poor. I'm like, how did this happen? But psychologically, a lot of people have been psychologically warped. And the masses, the more people it is walking in that zombie zone, walking that way, the more people it is walking that way, right? The more you need to get in the cut and watch them go that way and go the other way. Because it's a ditch that everybody following in. And a lot of the times, it's a mental ditch. It's a mental ditch. A lot of the times it's a mental ditch. Got something on my hat right here. Yep, that ain't gonna go away until I take it away. But anyway. So, there's nothing wrong with saying fuck the world. And because you're definitely not talking about any particular person. You just really referring to the things that you face on a day-to-day basis, and the things that we have to do to survive, and how much it costs to survive. And it's like there's no way that the rent in LA should be where it is. Like stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like this place is really crazy. And LA is beginning to be like kind of like New York too, because if you don't find your happiness within, you'll find yourself rushing to the money, because you know that 30 days is getting low. That 30 days is coming. And you take one day off for yourself to try to regroup, you done damn near lost part of your rent money. So anytime any human being is living on that type of system, there can be a lot of anger in the city. There can be a lot of discomfort in the city. There can be a lot of road rage in the city. A lot of people dying in the city because that's what you call economical warfare. When your human rights is being violated and you can't even afford a place to live, right? Even though you're getting out working on all, there should be a cut for people that go to work every day to at least be able to go home and lay in a bed or something and not be out here having to go to. I see people in these parking lots right here. It's people, look, I can walk you around these parking lots right here. I don't want to embarrass nobody, but it's cars with people sleeping in their cars. And they get up and go to work. In LA, is people sleep at the beach. You can see them going to work from the beach, the whole nine. People like us are just here to kind of bring it to your awareness that you are not alone. You know what I mean? And it's such a sad day, and people are dying left and right to a certain extent. And the only thing that we can say is, well, maybe they're in a better place. You know? Or they are in a better place. This little thing on my hat is irritating me. But anyway.